Well, welcome to our 2017 auction draft day. We're doing a little cooking, and it's an exciting day, especially as I'm the reigning champ from the 2016 season. This is going to be our 7th season. This is where it happens. We're going to have a live auctioneer going on right here in front. We're going to have them on a PA system. We're going to have spreadsheets on the 2 TVs in the room. We're going to cook a jambalaya and chicken sauce piquante. We're going to have some home brew and a bunch of other varieties of beer that we're going to be drinking today. We're expecting about 20 to 25 people. See you there. Alright, so we're starting our chicken sauce piquante. Roux looking great, and we close to dropping the wings, right, Milk? What are we drinking today? We got some homebrew? Got a little homebrew? Looking good. And we decided to pre-cook the chickens on the green egg. So let's see how they're looking. Oh, that's looking good. That smells so good. So we're gonna cook our chickens pretty much all the way. Let them cool, debone, and drop them in the sauce piquante. Now it's time to drop our Graton sausage into the jambalaya pot. Alright, so I want to give y'all a little update of the sausage. We've been frying them in this jambalaya pot for about 15-20 minutes. A lot of the grease is coming out of it. We'll probably give it a go another 5 minutes. And then we're going to pull our sausage and we're going to add our cube pork. So next stop, you'll be seeing the cube pork and seasoning that pork as we fry it down. I'm out of store. There we go. So we're pulling the chickens. We've been on the pit at 300 for about 2 hours. We're gonna let them cool before we debone them. Meanwhile, we still have the jambalaya going. At this point, another 5 minutes, we're gonna pull the sausage and add the pork. And let's go ahead on over to the sauce piquante. So at this point, we done add all our canned goods. We added some brine from some olives. There we go. Some brine from some olives. And so now we just want to simmer. We're trying to bring it up to a simmer. Have a few more beers. And then we're going to add some boneless chicken breasts to let that kind of break up. We like to get some chicken in the sauce piquante to go ahead and break up on us while we keep the whole pieces for serving. So now we moved to our craft beer club beer, and we're drinking a Kolsch that's pronounced companion. And meanwhile, let's move over to the green egg. We actually moved our sauce onto the green egg. So we're gonna cook it slow, and that way we don't have to worry about anything sticking. Alright, so at this point, all we have here is we lowered the fire, we pulled the sausage. So the sausage is sitting in my pan, cooling off. A lot of fat and drippings is going to fall out of that. We added a good bit of seasoning. Seasonal work for you. I'm using Tremonti's meat and seafood seasoning. Let's get a shot of that. But here we go. So we added a little Tremonti's, Lee and Perrin, and also some garlic. And so with the plan here, this is going to be about 20-30 minutes. We're going to lower it. We're going to cook that pork until it's starting to get cooked. I would say maybe 3/4 of the way. At that point, we're going to pull the liquid that's going to form in the pot, and then we're going to fry it. We're actually going to almost turn it like you would have a bark around the pork. So whenever we get to that point, we're going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Alright, so this is what I was talking about. Got a good bit of liquid in here, and I think it's time to start pulling the liquid and browning the pork. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and pull as much liquid out, and then we're gonna recoat the meat with some seasoning. Okay, so now we got as much liquid as we could get out of the pot, and we're just gonna add some more seasoning. We're gonna give it a good stir. We're going to keep the heat up. The point of this is to start making some graton on the bottom of the pot. It's going to start sticking, and that's what's going to transfer all of our flavor to our onions. So we're adding the onions, and that's just some mixed vegetables. We're going to add 5 pounds of onions and some bell peppers and celery and a little garlic. So at this point, what we did was we took all the liquid we could out the onions. The onions turned clear, and we added our meats back to the mixture. And so we're gonna stir this, and we're almost gonna make like a little gravy. We're gonna cook this through, and we're gonna let all them flavors marry each other, and it's gonna start to smell like a jambalaya at this point. You want it to be a bit on the dry side early on when you're mixing your onions, your sausage, and pork. So it's smelling good. It's starting to come together. It smells like a jambalaya. So meanwhile, while we keep on stirring and making sure that everything's evenly heated up, the sauce piquante is still on the egg, and we're about to add some lemon juice. It's one of the flavors we like to add, and also some more olives and some olive brine. Make sure that when you add your olives and your olive brine, you don't over season with salt early on, because you could definitely turn this dish into being too salty. And we're going for a brownish red sauce that's going to go on top of this jambalaya. Alright, well, we just added 5 1/4 quarts of liquid to our onion and meat mixture. I added some chicken base, and we're going to bring this up to a boil. This is probably going to take about 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to let it cook for maybe about 30 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and taste it. We definitely want to season it at that point, and then I'm going to cut the fire off. So I'm a little late on this video, but I brought it back up to a boil, and I added 7 pounds of rice. So it takes about 7 to 7.5 minutes at a boil to completely boil out all the liquid. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let it come back up to a boil. I'm going to stir constantly, and then I'll give you a shot of right before we lower the temperature. Alright, so we have about 2 to 3 minutes left on the boil. Because I want to show you what it looks like. Remember, you want to have a hard boil this entire time. Keep it off the bottom so you don't burn it. And we're going to go into the snow liquid. Get hot. At this point, we're going to lower the heat, put it on, cover it, and very low. Let's bring it down lower than that. Decrease. And we're going to let it simmer for 30 minutes.